All right, it's showtime. We've got some tape profits to announce before we get started. The first of these are going to be ACT versus Tether. It's 417 pips. It's going to be win number 1,286 for the year. Let me grab that. Okay, come on. There we go. And that was $413. And that's Act 1, the AI prophecy versus Tether. Take care of now. Why am I having a brain fart here? There we go. That's what I'm looking for. One second, my rig is running a little slow this morning. It might just be me. I just woke up not too long ago. I'll wake up fully shortly. And that's 413. All right, there's the announcement on LinkedIn. Here's the announcement on Twitter. And here's the announcement on YouTube. Small win, but congratulations for those of you who took it. Again, that was Act 1, the AI Prophecy versus Tether for $113. All right, moving on. We've got Baby versus Tether. That was for 215 pips. And that's Babylon versus Tether. And that was for $451.70. And there's the announcement on LinkedIn. There's the announcement on Twitter. And here's the announcement on YouTube. All right. Hmm. 15. There. You know what? I just realized I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry about that. So we can get rid of this. And that's Baby. It's win number 1,287 for the year for us. That's 4. All right, next up we have Euro versus the Japanese yen. I believe we called this out on Friday. That's for 68 pips. Congratulations for those of you who took those Japanese trades. I believe now at this point, every single one of them have won. We caught those on Friday right before the end of the New York session. This particular one is the euro versus the Japanese yen. This would be helpful if I actually kept the picture, wouldn't it? All right, there goes another announcement. It's going to be number 1,288 for the year. Again, on euro versus Japanese yen for another 68 pips. Next up, we have the Great British Pound Sterling versus the Japanese yen. It's going to be another win, this time for 91 pips. Again, congratulations for those of you who took that trade. That's going to be win number 1,289 for us. And then we have the futures on gasoline. That was for 587 pips. So next week you should see a nice little 9 to 10 cent reduction in gasoline at the price of the pump as a result of this move. And that is likely to continue. Gas is always cheaper in the winter because there's less additives that are required to put into the formula to make crude oil into gasoline. win number 1,290 for the year. On RB1, the futures on gasoline for 587 pips. All right, let's get to the money. First up, we have the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. We're going to be taking this on a buy to 102.306. This is a 30-minute confirmation. The risk is going to be 2.84. The entry price is going to be 101.522. Stop loss is going to be 101.246. And take profit is going to be 102.306. Here's a call for Twitter, call for LinkedIn, and the call for everyone else. We've got the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen on a 30-minute buy. The entry price is 101.522. The stop loss is going to be 101.246 for 28 pips. And the take profit is going to be 102.306 for 78 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 2.84. Again, that is the Australian dollar versus the Japanese yen. Move it on. We've got ZS1. This is going to be the future on soybeans. Going to take that on a buy to one. Actually, I hate these catastrophes. Those are so darn hard to read. To 1157. All right. All right. We got ZS1. This is for soybeans. It's a 15-minute confirmation buy. Your risk is going to be 3.8. Your entry price is going to be 1142.6. Your stop is going to be 1139 even. And your take profit is going to be 1157 even. And for Twitter, your next call. For LinkedIn, the next call. And for everyone else. We've got ZS1 soybeans. It's a 15-minute buy. Your entry price is 1142.60. Your stop loss is 1139 even for 15 pips. Your take profit is 1157 even for 57 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 3.80. Again, that is the future on soybeans. Next up, we have the United States dollar versus the Japanese yen. That hit take profit for us. Congratulations on those of you who took that trade. Next up, we have a 1-hour confirmation on IP versus Tether. We're already in it on a 30-minute confirmation. I'm going to re-enter. This time targeting 2.261. Hopping at myself. All right, it's going to be a purple call. And this is IP Tether on a 60-minute sell. We've got risk to reward of 3.97. Got entry at 2.793. Got stop loss at 2.953. And we got take profit at 2.261. All right, your next call for Twitter and for LinkedIn and for everyone else. We've got IP versus Tether on a 60-minute sell. The entry price is 2.793. Your take profit, your stop loss is 2.953 for 134 pips. The take profit is 2.261 for 532 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 3.97. Again, this is IP versus Tether on a 1-hour confirmation. Next up, we have AXS on a 2-hour confirmation. We're already in this on the 30-minute. This time we're going to be targeting 1.06. All right. AXS. It's a 120-minute confirmation. The risk to reward ratio is 4.10. We have entry at 1.257. We have stop loss at 1.305. We have take profit of 1.06. There's for Twitter, for Telegram. For LinkedIn. All right, so we have AXS versus Tether on a 120-minute sell. The entry price is 1.257. Your stop loss is 1.305 for 48 pips. Your take profit is going to be 1.060 for 197 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 4.10. Again, this is AXS versus Tether. Next up, we have 0G versus Tether. Not going to bother to take that because it's not much longer than the trade we're already in on the 15-minute. We have Platinum versus the United States dollar. We're going to take that, targeting 1521.838. Again, this is Platinum versus the United States dollar. And your risk is going to be 3.66. Your entry price is going to be 1558.203. Your stop loss is going to be 1568.142. And your take profit is going to be 1521.838. All right, we have Platinum versus the United States dollar on a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 1558.203. Your stop loss is going to be 1568.142 for 9,939 pips. Your take profit is 1521.838 for 36,365 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.66. This is a commodity. It is more heavily weighted than regular currency, so be careful on your lot size on this one. It does move pretty quickly. Next up, we have Uni versus Tether. That already hit take profit, so the trade's invalidated and we won't be entering it. We have PL1. This is the future on Platinum. We will be entering this trade. This time targeting 1533.4. All right, we've got a risk of 3.25. We have entry at 1566.5. We have stop at 1576.7. And we've got take profit at 1533.4. Let's call for Twitter, for LinkedIn, and for everyone else. We have the futures on platinum for a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 1566.50. Your stop loss is 1576.70 for 102 pips. And your take profit is 1533.40 for 331 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 3.25. Again, this is the futures on platinum. All right, we have MHG1. That is the futures on micro copper. We're going to take this on a sell, targeting 4.9550. All right, the risk on this is 3.38. We have entry at 5.0125. We have stop at 5.0295. And we got take profit at 4.955. All right, our call, MHG1. This is micro copper. It's a futures, 15-minute sell. Entry price is 5.0125. Stop loss is 5.0295 for 34 pips. Take profit is 4.9550 for 115 pips. Risk reward ratio is 3.38. Again, this is the futures on micro copper. Moving on, we have the futures on HG1. This is on copper itself, targeting 4.9555. Risk is 3.57. Your entry price is going to be 5.018. Stop loss is 5.0355. And take profit is going to be 4.9555. All right, we have HG1. This time is on copper. It's a 15-minute sell. Your entry price is 5.0180. Your stop loss is 5.0355 for 35 pips. Your take profit is 4.955 for 125 pips. and a risk reward ratio of 3.57. Again, that's the futures on the copper. And last up, we have 6J1. It's a take profit smashed on Japanese yen. Congratulations on those of you that took that on a 30-minute confirmation. Really smooth movement. For those of you not aware, because of declining population, the Japanese market has been hitting almost continuous downtrend on the weakening of its currency for the last few years. It did hit a bit of an uptrend for the recent election of their first female prime minister, and then it started tanking again. Kind of hard to beat those demographics. You don't have people, you don't have production. Same thing's happening in South Korea. And unfortunately, it's on its way to happen in the United States because we're just having less children now. Every society in the world is designed based off of growing or stable populations, not declining populations. All right, so with that being said, we're going to revert our attention back to Bitcoin, which is slightly up since the opening bell. But note, we do have earnings for NVIDIA coming out later this morning, and I think that's going to tank everything. I reason to believe that they won't do as well at beating forecasts, if they beat forecasts at all, because they've been aggressive for quite some time. They're due for a bit of a disappointment. We also have releases of other lesser known AI companies today. So tech is going to drag down all sectors today. So we're going to be looking for a possible sell on the US 30, which is the Dow Jones Industrial Average, the NASDAQ 100, the S&P 500, and very possibly the Russell 2000. And if we're really lucky, we'll get them on the futures market as well. I'm the Pit Messiah, your host for the Quiet Storm live trading session for New York for November the 19th, 2025. We basically rotate on a 15-minute pacing for opportunities to enter the market. Futures are about 10 minutes off for the rest of the market. So right now it's 9:09 Central Standard Time. In less than 30 seconds, we'll get the next tickers for the futures market. And then at 9:15, which is the quarter of the hour, we'll get our next signals to possibly enter the market proper. Basically everything else other than futures. We're currently trading 439 different assets across 9 different asset classes. So we've got plenty of opportunities to get in or out. And we do evaluate each trade individually before we hop into the trade. It's just as important to avoid bad entries as it is to get into good entries. So with those 2 wins on ACT, which is the AI prophecy, and Babylon versus Tether, that brings us to 41 wins for the week. And we're currently up $42,528.18. That's if you took every single trade that we've called out this week at its lowest lot size. So congratulations to you that have been rocking with me the entire week. We've done quite well. So now the unsexy part, we wait about another 3 minutes to our next entry into the market. Meanwhile, unless I want to freeze to death, I probably need to go and turn off this darn air conditioner. Be right back. All right, got a little less than a minute left to go. I do expect Bitcoin to dump off pretty precipitously starting at 10 a.m. That's when the London market closes. If you're not really familiar with the markets, from 8:30 a.m., which is the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange, until 10 a.m., the London and the New York Stock Exchange are open at the same time. And unfortunately, European money tends to run perpendicular to New York money. So you get reversals a lot of the time, even when you have a solid trend in the right direction. Bitcoin's definitely on a downtrend, but the Europeans, for some reason, keep going long on Bitcoin, and they're wrong. So we get to take their money. All right, it's now 9:15. No immediate signals. It takes about 3 minutes for TradingView to get through all the different signals we do call. We don't get anything. Next opportunity in the market will be at 9:25 a.m. for the futures market, and then for 9:30 a.m., the middle of the hour for everything else. In the meantime, if you need a break, we did have fast and furious action early. It's a good time to grab your breakfast, grab something to drink, settle in. We'll be in till 11 a.m. this morning. Got an alert on soft versus tether. Let's take a look. Looks like we have stop loss hit, which is fine. It's a pretty low loss. We only lost 30 pips. May come back around and hit take profit eventually. But those of you who took that and did not win, you got liquidated for $3. Now, if you did not use a stop loss and it does eventually hit take profit, you should win a minimum of $193 once it gets there. Right now, it's probably somewhere around $10 to $11 in the red. So this is the DXY. It's the US dollar currency index. It judges the relative strength of the dollar against itself. And apparently the dollar is finally approaching what will be over $1 per dollar, which is good for us because it means that things are cheaper for us to buy. It did have a fall from 104 about a month and a half ago. It's making its way back up again. And at the same time, every other world currency that's major is falling. So it means it's cheaper for us to buy foreign goods as well. Unfortunately for us, Bitcoin dominance looks to be a little bit up, whereas Ethereum versus Bitcoin is down, which explains why the market is down. Let's check where the money's going. All right, so this is Crypto Bubbles. Wonderful site. And what it does is it visualizes where the money is going at any given point in time. And it looks like there's almost net zero money going into Bitcoin for today. But in the last hour, you see all of these altcoins are gaining liquidity. That means they're about to go up in price. So you kind of just take your pick. Easy way to make some money. It looks like Dash is leading the way. You got Zcash that's on there. Zcash is a huge story. It's up an obscene amount this year. I believe it's over 1,400% year to date. Because I remember in December it was hovering below $300. It's over $600 per coin right now. So it looks like altcoins across the board are gaining value. But the star of the show, Zcash, STRK, and Mix, we're in all three of these in trades and in profit in all three. Yeah. let me demonstrate what this looks like, guys. So if you're going and you're looking at cryptocurrency and perpetuals, let's start with Zcash, the one that I was speaking about first. It is up 43.52% just this week. It is up 169.93% for the month. It is up 1,529.52% over the last 3 months. It is up 1,030.73% for the year. There's not a financial instrument in the world that you're going to get this type of performance on except for cryptocurrency. And even if you were complete and utter dunce concerning cryptocurrency, you know how to look at a bubble and you know how to see a percentage is larger than others. If money's going in, then this is going to grow because it's a low liquidity coin. So it doesn't take much additional capital for it to continue to grow like this. And just yesterday, Cypherpunk just purchased another 18 million of this coin. Pumping it further. Then we have STRK. We're just looking at that. It is up 73.38% just this week. Let that sink in. Again, just following the money. The blockchain is all public, so we can see where the money's going. Then we have MIX, MYX. It is up 3,960% this year. That's a 396x. Well, a 39.6% X. Which means if you took $500 and you multiplied it by that percentage, 39.6041, you'd be sitting on $19,802.05 from a $500 investment if you started on January the 1st and waited until now. Like it started the year at 4 cents. It's at $3.15 now. And again, small liquidity pool, which means that bigger moves can happen with very small investment going into it. If you have enough money, you can drive some of these coins yourself. That's the game that's being played here. Okay, Bitcoin did take a dive again, so it's down below 1,700 points. And that's an 800-point drop in the last 15 minutes. That's what we like to see. All right, we're approaching 9:30. We got about 3 more minutes to the half of the hour. We didn't get any futures calls, and that's fine. We're cooking with gas. In terms of our positions, we have 114 shorts versus 13 longs for a total of 127 open positions. And that's on 438 different assets across 9 different asset classes. It's one of the reasons why we continually make money. We continually get into high quality trades. We avoid low quality trades, and it's like a ball rolling downhill. When you have that many shots going on at the right time, at the same time, provided you have sufficient liquidity, you're going to make money pretty much every day. I use Google Sheets to track this. So for today, for instance, we're up $3,172.70. If we were to go and remove the filter for the week and just take a look, these are all the wins. So we started out with resolve for 1,977, and we've just kept going. Some are bigger, some are smaller. Just depend on the weight on the coin and the leverage that you take. But this is at the smallest lot size. I do that intentionally to demonstrate that it can be done. It does not take a whole bunch of lot size to make money. You can be very conservative and it's still fine. I'm using 4 different brokers to accomplish this. I have liquid brokers. I take perpetual trades from that, along with indices, precious metals, oil, and natural gas. All the world market indices and some stocks. Then I have LHFX, which is formerly EcoFX. I use that for currency, exotics, majors, and minors, mostly because they have better leverage than anyone else. Then I use BTCC, that is for cryptocurrency perpetual trades. And then I use Top Step X. I use that for my futures. And the benefit of all 4 of these brokers is that they are not market movers, which means they don't set their own market. The price on the market is the actual price that they track, which means you can use a trading platform like TradingView and then trade in live time on these markets, on these brokers, and make money. And because there's so many of us trading at the same time, we get good leverage on those brokers. All right, Bitcoin is now broken 91,000 and is in free fall right now. Let's see what support it's getting. It's now 931. No new signals for 930. Next opportunities to enter the market will be at 9:40 a.m. for the futures market and 9:45 a.m., the quarter of the hour for everything else. So we have an order block sitting at 90,100. If it breaks that, the next level is at 89,800. If it breaks that, it begins free fall to 88,300. So we could be down about 4,600 points today for Bitcoin. It could go further, but that looks like it's the best case scenario, being that we don't really have a lot of major news today. We do have the Federal Reserve meeting. They are going to probably be making interest rate decisions without the benefit of complete information from the U.S. federal government, because the Trump administration refuses to, well, they're not refusing to release job information. They literally can't. There's not enough time for them to crack the numbers. Because the federal government was closed for 40 days, the people that work at the Department of Labor and the Department of Transportation that crack most of these statistics that go into the beige book for the Federal Reserve were not at work. So you didn't have anyone to take the 2 to 3 weeks it takes to crack all of that information, vet it, and to get it out to the Federal Reserve on time for them to make their interest rate decision. And remember, they got to gather information from 50 states and a number of U.S. protectorates and U.S. ex-territories like military bases and cobble all that together to get a composite of information to hand over. Now, there are proxies they can use, like the ADP payroll report, for instance, but ADP is not the payroll provider for all the companies in the United States. So that doesn't work either. So they're flying blind a little bit. My sinking suspicion is that they will leave interest rates precisely the same at 2% because they don't know the numbers. The danger there is that the market is already priced in a possible rate change. You got to get a pretty violent reaction or sell-off of equities. The question then becomes, where's that money going to go? Is it going to go into precious metals to preserve capital, like it did on the run-up to gold over 4,000 per troy ounce? Or is it going to pour into alternative assets like exchange-traded funds, treasury bonds, treasury bills, and cryptocurrency? Remains to be seen. But right now, it seems that the trend is a decline in Bitcoin in terms of price point, a decline in Bitcoin dominance as a percentage of the entire market, Ethereum continuing to slightly outperform Bitcoin, and then more money being applied into altcoins, which is why altcoins across the board, even outside the top 1,000, continue to climb in price. Some more noticeably than others. But I don't think we get a true altcoin super cycle until the passage of the Genius Act, which is the third of 3 crypto legislations that were before the U.S. Congress, before the shutdown. And I don't think that's going to happen this year. They're going to spend all their time arguing over the continuance of the funding of the government past January the 30th and over the subsidies for the American Care Act. Affordable Care Act, sorry. All right, a little over 4 minutes left to the futures market ticker. About 9 minutes left to the market proper. It's probably going to be a little quiet for us until 10 a.m. That's when the London market closes, which basically means you have nothing but U.S. money going into the market. So there's no more going back and forth in terms of direction. U.S. money tends to flow all in the same direction for the most part. And that's where we're going to see things really start to move, which I believe will include a very nice drop in Bitcoin price, which is going to fuel our shorts and hopefully give us a deluge of wins this morning. Always fun to see it when we're actually live. One thing to always note, if you're looking at a chart, particularly on cryptocurrency, and you see that the bottom of price action is at a nice round number, in this case, 90,600, it is mathematically impossible for retail traders to do that. That's an institutional move. So as you see, price just broke it. So you can tell when the computers are kind of moving the market and going for a liquidity pool, because they will stop momentarily at nice even numbers and then continue in that direction. So what's going on right now is that you have a number of people that have buy limit orders at these levels. And what's likely to happen is that institutional traders will drive the price of Bitcoin down by doing cash outflows to grab all this liquidity and then retract price on the reversal. And they continue so long as there's people trying to go long. So right now, all these people are in danger of being liquidated, and it's probably going to happen. I'd be very surprised if the institutional traders don't go and take out all this liquidity, which does not bother us because number one, we're not in Bitcoin right now. And number two, we are short on a lot of other altcoins. And as the price of Bitcoin declines, we're still making money. Now, eventually we will get into Bitcoin, but that will be because the market shows us that it's going to be going up in value and it's finally hit a bottom. And right now, that bottom appears to be around 88,200. Now, if it breaks that, that's an entirely different discussion altogether. Here it is on the 4-hour. It tried to break it on the 18th. Didn't make it. Now, if somehow Bitcoin does break through this, it is falling all the way down to 85,700. If it breaks that, it has another fall down to 81,900. There's nothing after that. It's in free fall. So these are the blocks where people are still trying to buy. And it could take out all of this and retract price back up, in which case it will liquidate all these people who think they're going to be slick and catch Bitcoin at the better price. They're probably wrong. Even on the daily, there's people down here that still have order blocks. That's at 76 to the 100. That's at 71, 100. And in a worst case scenario, institutional traders, if they're greedy enough, will go down and wipe this out as well. And then price will increase. So stack your cash, be ready to get into the market. Things are going to be on value sell. People are going to be jumping off of roofs, panicking. Meh. You buy low, you sell high. That's what the institutions are doing. And of course, you could do dollar cost averaging and all that good stuff. I don't think you want to do that in this type of market. You kind of want to wait it out. All right, we got about 10 seconds left to the quarter of the hour. Let's see if we get some action before 10 a.m., the closure of the London Stock Exchange. You're going to definitely see a change in the speed of cryptocurrency as soon as the market hits 10 a.m. And look, here's another false bottom, 90,500. It's going to clear that. And it just did. Once you see it, you kind of can't unsee it. About a good 84, 85% of the activity in the market is basically computers. Computers have rules and they have certain patterns that they do. And one of those is the nice even numbers to hit artificial tops and artificial bottoms. I wouldn't get so enamored with candle patterns. Candles can lie. The best sense I can tell you is just follow the money. Learn to be very good at reading news, understanding market sentiment. LinkedIn, for instance, is a very powerful place for information concerning the movement of markets. There's a lot of groups on there to talk about it. There's a lot of influential people on LinkedIn that drop lots of information concerning it. Twitter is another space where you see a lot of business people that are dropping information that may be helpful. Okay, so nothing new for 9:45. Our next opportunities to enter the market will be at 9:55 a.m. for the futures market and at 10 a.m. for the rest of the market. We're continuing to see a degradation of price on Bitcoin as it begins to challenge 90,100 and break below that. If it invalidates the order block, you'll see this green line disappear. And then its next mark will be 89,001. I think it's going to get broke for these and fall here today. If it breaks all three, we're going to get some fireworks today. So NVIDIA has mixed news, and that is with the release of their earnings, they have notes to their financial statements. And someone caught the fact that they have $24 billion in AI deals with their own customers. That's a classic way of inflating your books. So they may be in a little bit of trouble. NVIDIA is still up 2.93% right now, but when they finally drop their earnings, that's not good market sentiment you want. If you're not familiar with Kraken, which is one of the crypto exchanges, it very quietly filed for a US IPO about 40 minutes ago. Again, that's Kraken. That means it's going to become a publicly traded company, following on the heels of Coinbase. That report just came out of Reuters. The US trade deficit dropped 24% in August of this year because of the effect of the Trump tariffs. That's pretty big. Let me see if I can find out exactly when the video earnings are dropping. After Wednesday's close. So probably around 5 p.m. is when it's going to drop. And depending on where it drops, it could move the stock 7% in either direction. That would basically make or break the S&P 500 for this year because the market cap of NVIDIA is so huge. Either way, we're getting plays on all three of the major U.S. indices tomorrow. I would be shocked if we don't. That would be the Dow Jones, the NASDAQ 100, and the S&P 500. Possibly, if things swing the way we need to and affects other sectors, we'll get the Russell 2000 as well. All right, so we're into this order block now. It's not quite to the 50% mark, but it's getting ready to challenge it. It's a nice, strong signal. And we got just over 7 minutes left in the candle. So we could see this break before the top of the hour. That support is not going to hold. All right, so and it has been invalidated. The order block is gone. We have an artificial bottom at 90,000. That's getting ready to get taken out too. Let's go. 6 minutes left to go. Love it when a plan falls together. I can see retail money trying to keep price over 90,000, but it's not going to be enough. I don't think they quite understand. It's just people trying to get in at random points. Like you can see the order blocks, you can see where the money is. Like it makes the decision to get in or out a lot easier. And order blocks exist on all assets. It's just they're pretty vitally important in crypto because of how volatile it is. And boom, it just broke 90,000. Here we go. Next order block to be challenged is at 89,800 or 167 points above that. I don't think that's going to last either. Breaks through that, you'll see price accelerate as it moves towards 88,300. At that point, Bitcoin will be down 3,500 points for the day. 4 minutes left to go to the top of the hour. We're marching magic happened right before our eyes. And we're now right on top of this order block. Should be dipping into it soon. Three minutes left to go to the top of the hour. All right, now we're slightly into the order block with 3 minutes left to go. And we have invalidation of prior structure. So this bad boy it's going to continue. Two minutes left to go to the top of the hour, the closure of the London Stock Exchange. Then we get to see some real fun. Check out how US 30 is down. Okay. Yeah, wow. Holy crap. Yeah, all the markets are starting to tank. The word is getting around about NVIDIA. Okay. Got 20 seconds left to the top of the hour. Pay very close attention to price from here on out. You'll see an acceleration in either direction because there's no European money anymore. Here we go. You should get the challenge of price here. No immediate signals for 10 o'clock. An hour left to go in our session today. Looks like we've got another sell on platinum, this time on the 30-minute. All right, so that's going to fill itself at 10:30, and we're going to enter an additional sell on platinum on the 30-minute. We're in one on the 15-minute. Congratulations to those that took that. And also the futures on platinum. You should be nice and decently in the profit. Even if your lowest lot size, you should be up several $100s already. For those of you with small accounts, you can exit that trade and take your profit for the day, and you've made your compound for the day. Congratulations in advance. All right, so we do have a slight retracement of price. Let's see if that holds. I don't think it will. If this is just a slight retracement, we're going to get a continued sell-off. All right, so we got one trading clue for 10:30. That'll be on platinum versus the United States dollar. Doesn't appear we're getting anything else new for the 10 o'clock hour. Next opportunity to enter the market will be at 10:10 a.m. Central Standard Time for the futures market. And then again at 10:15 a.m. for the market proper. There is possible that we get a secondary entry on platinum as a futures on the 30-minute by virtue of the signal on the 30-minute on platinum versus the United States dollar that we just got. We'll know that in about 7 minutes. All right, I'm going to step away momentarily. Got to use the restroom. I'll be right back. Okay, so it looks like that short little retracement for Bitcoin exhausted itself as price continues its move to a sell-off. Four and a half minutes left to the ticker to the futures market. About 9.5 minutes left to the ticker for the market proper. Looks like commodities is starting to sell off a little bit. And we have a continued sell-off of the U.S. markets. Equities look fine. Shot Google's up 4% this month. I mean, it's today, though. It's a little unusual. Delaying the inevitable. Voila, I was right. We got PL1, we got HG1, so additional entries on platinum on the 30-minute and on copper on the 30-minute. Those are incoming at 10:40 a.m. Central Standard Time. Next opportunities will enter the market will be at 10:15 a.m. Central Standard Time. We'll see if we get anything else across other asset classes. But now we have 3 trades in queue to be called. All right, we've got a buy alert on UK oil. There's too much resistance above current price. That's not going up. All right, 10:15. No new signals. Next opportunity to enter the market is going to be at 10:25 a.m. That's for the futures market, and 10:30 a.m. for the rest of the market. All right, so within a challenge of this buy order, it got below 50%, but didn't wipe it out yet. It's coming. All right, we've got sales on RT1 and MK21. We have the break of that order block. So now price is in free fall all the way down to 88,300. And this is the Japanese Nikkei 225, both of these. So that's going to be popping off at 10:45 a.m. We do get platinum versus the United States dollar in 5 minutes. For the original trade on the 15 minutes, you should be about 50% of the way to take profit, up quite a bit. Monster entry. Congratulations. All right, got 20 seconds left to the half of the hour. Let's go ahead and hop into this trade. We're now 50% of the way to take profit on platinum versus United States out on a 15-minute. Move your stop loss to the entry price for a risk-free trade. Congratulations. And we have an extension of a trade. We're going to cut this as well. This is a short, targeting 1505.98. Move this right above the Asian range. Here we go. And this is going to be XPT, Platinum versus the United States dollar on the 30-minute confirmation. The risk is 3.25. The entry price is going to be 1539.132. One moment. All right, back to it. The stop is going to be 1549.328. And the stop, the take profit is going to be 1505.98. Yeah. That's for 33,152. All right, here's your next call. And we've got Platinum versus the United States dollar on the 30-minute confirmation. The entry price is 1539.132. Your stop loss is 1549.328 for 10,216 pips. Your take profit is 1505.980 for 33,152 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.25. Again, that is Platinum versus the United States dollar on a 30-minute confirmation. And in about 7 minutes, we have the call on both Platinum and on copper on the 30-minute. Going to head back to Bitcoin. 15-minute. And right now we're waiting on a drop to 88,300. All right, so we've got MES1 and ES1. That's the S&P 500. And we have another one on mini copper. That's on the 30-minute. All right, so we got platinum. We're going to take this on the short. This time targeting 1517.5. Shorten this stock to right above the 200. All right, here we go. We got PL1, this time on a 30-minute confirmation. The risk is going to be 2.95. Your entry price is going to be 1553.5. Your stop is going to be 1565.7. And your take profit is 1517.5. And that's for 360. Here's your next call. I guess it would help if I put the freaking ticker on here, wouldn't it? This is platinum. Yeah, let me recall this from Twitter real quick. And repost this bad boy. There we go. We have PL1. This is platinum on the 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 1553.50. Stop loss is 1565.70 for 122 pips. Take profit is 1517.50 for 360 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 2.95. Again, this is the futures on platinum on the 30-minute confirmation. Next up, we have the future on copper on a 30-minute confirmation, this time targeting 4.9315. And it appears we just got orders on the NASDAQ 100 and the Japanese Nikkei 225. We'll take a look at those shortly. So things are starting to flow. I'll take it. All right, so this is HG1, this is copper. Say 30-minute sell. We've got risk at 3.35. We've got entry at 4.9935. We got stop at 5.018. And we've got take profit of 4.9315. All right, we have HG1 on copper. It's a 30-minute sell. Your entry price is 4.9935. Your stop loss is 5.0180 for 37 pips. Your take profit is 4.9315 for 124 pips, and a risk to reward ratio of 3.35. Again, that's the sell on the futures on copper. We have MK21. This is going to be the the mini Russell 2000. So I told you guys this was coming. Going to take that on the sell to 2307.9. Move the stop above the EMAs. And this is going to be M2K1. This is the mini Russell 2000. And we've got a risk of 3.89. We've got entry at 23.5380. We've got stop at 23.6560. It's going to be for 118. And we've got take profit at 2307.90. All right, next up we have M2K1. This is the futures on the mini Russell 2000. 15-minute sell with entry price at 2353.80. Stop loss at 2365.60 for 118 pips. Take profit at 2307.90 for 459 pips. Risk to reward ratio of 3.89. Again, that is the mini Russell 2000. Next up, we have the Russell 2000. This time targeting 2307.8. to move this above the EMAs. And this is going to be RTY1 on the Russell 2000. We got a risk of 3.76. We have an entry at 23.5330. You got stop loss at 23.6540. And we've got take profit at 2307.8. We have RT1, the futures on the Russell 2000 on the 15-minute sell. Entry price is 2353.30. Stop loss is 2365.40 for 121 pips. Take profit is 2307.80 for 455 pips. Risk to reward ratio of 3.76. Again, this is the future on the Russell 2000. Next up, we have the S&P 500. This time targeting 6,532.15. Grab that real quick. What's that? 6532.15 on a short. Actually, it's giving us a slightly better entry, so we're going to take that right there. 6532.30. Boom. Okay. And this is the XPX 500. Got a risk of 5.44. We've got a entry of 66.35.96. Got a stop at 66.55.01. And we've got take profit at 65.32.3. Yeah. Hey, Adi, if you look at the description to the video, there's a link in that to my Telegram, Project Genesis. Click on that link and link up with me, and I'll get you trained. All right, we have the SPX 500. This is a 15-minute sell. The entry price is 6635.96. The stop loss is 55.01 for 1,905 pips. The take profit is 6532.30 for 10,366 pips, and a risk to reward ratio of 5.44. Again, this is the S&P 500 in Indices. Next up, we have ES1. That is the future on the S&P 500. This time targeting 65.47 even. Or stop right above the EMAs, right there. All right, orange trade. This is ES1. Our risk is going to be 3.5. Our entry is going to be 6,649.25. Our stop loss is going to be 66.7850. Darn it, I just lost window, so now I got to do this again. ES1. This is the S&P 500. $3.5 risk. Entry is 66.4925. Stop is 66.7850. And take profit is 65.47 even. All right, here we go. For Twitter, for LinkedIn, and for everyone else. Where is my link? There we go. Sorry, wrong one. Got ES1. This is the futures on the Standard & Poor's 500. 15-minute sell. Entry price is 6649.25. Stop loss is 6678.50 for 117 pips. Take profit is 6547.00 for 409 pips, with a risk to reward ratio of 3.50. Again, that is the future on S&P 500. Next up, we have MES1. This is the mini S&P 500. Targeting 65.47 again. I'll put this above. And let's get these parameters out. MES. This is the mini S&P 500. Got a risk of 3.37. We've We've got entry at 66.48 even. We've got stop at 66.78 even. And we've got take profit at 65.47 even. All right, here we go. We have MES1. This is the mini S&P 500, a future, 15-minute sell. Entry price is 6648.00. Stop loss is 6678.00 for 120 pips. Take profit is 6547.00 for 404 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3.37. And we still don't have the mark off for MHG yet. It's a 30-minute confirm. We do, however, have a sell on the NASDAQ 100. It's going to be a sell from current price, targeting 24,009.98. This is an indice. Be careful on your leverage here. Risk is going to be 4.14. We have an entry at 24,651.78. We have stop at 24,806.63. And we've got take profit at 24,009.98. Let me grab this myself. What is this? 24,009. And there's for Twitter. It's for LinkedIn. And here for everyone else. We have the NASDAQ 100 on a 15-minute sell. The entry price is 24,651.78. Your stop loss is 24,806.63 for 15,485 pips. Your take profit is 24,009.98 for 64,180 pips and a risk to reward ratio of 4.14. Again, this is the NASDAQ 100. It is an indice. We have the Japanese Nikkei 225 on sale, targeting 48,367.82. Said 48,367.82. grab this bad boy. All right, we've got entry. Well, actually, we've got risk of 3 even. We've got entry at 49, 113, 17. Got take profit at 49, 361, 67. And we've got take profit at 48, 367, 82. All right, we have the Japanese Nikkei 225 on a 15-minute sell. The entry price is 49113.17. The stop loss is 49361.67 for 24,850 pips. The take profit is 48367.82 for 74,535 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 3. Again, that's the Japanese Nikkei 225. It is also an indice. All right, so we got a number of other trades coming up. It looks like we have the mini NASDAQ, and we have the NASDAQ coming in 15 minutes. Also looks like we have crude oil, a long entry. We're not going to take that because I know it's selling off. We have NKD1, that's a sell. I believe that's the mini NASDAQ. We have crude oil, it's not going long, so we're not taking that. We have QM1, another trying to go long. It's not going long, selling off. So we'll go a little bit beyond 11 a.m. so we can go ahead and get these 4 signals in. We're sitting on MHG1, which is copper. And that should be coming up in about a minute and 35 seconds. Actually, no, hold on. Is that 30? Yeah, it's 30 minutes. All right, there we go. We got our mini copper. We're going to be targeting 4.9044. 4.904. So short from current price. Going to go above the 200 EMA right there. There's a trade. It's going to be MHG1. This is micro copper. This time on a 30-minute confirmation. The risk is going to be 4.3. Entry price is 4.9965. Stop loss is 5.1025. That's 443. And our take profit is 4.904 even. All right, here we go. We have MHG1. This is micro copper. 30-minute confirmation, market execution sell. Your entry price is going to be 4.9965. Your stop loss is going to be 5.0125 for 43 pips. Your take profit is going to be 4.9040 for 185 pips. And a risk to reward ratio of 4.30. Again, this is the future on micro copper. All right, we have MNQ1. This is the mini NASDAQ 100. It's going to be a sell targeting 24,069.25. All right, it's going to be another future. This is MNQ. And this is the mini NASDAQ 100. And risk is going to be 4.18. Entry is going to be 24,692.75. Stop is going to be 24,842 even. And take profit is going to be 24,069.25. All right, this is MNQ1. This is the mini NASDAQ 1000. It's a 15-minute confirmation sell. Your entry price is 24,692.75. Your stop loss is 24842 even for 597 pips. Your take profit is 24069.25 for 2,494 pips. The risk to reward ratio is 4.18. Again, that's the futures on the mini NASDAQ 100. Next up, we have the NASDAQ 100 itself, this time targeting 24,070 even. And put this above the 200 EMA. And this is NQ1. It's the future on the NASDAQ 100. And we have a risk of 3.23. We have entry at 24,613.75. We've got stop loss at 24,782 even. And we have take profit at 24,070 even. All right, we have NQ1. This is the futures on the NASDAQ 100, 15-minute sell. Entry price is 24613.75. Stop loss is 24782 even for 673 pips. Take profit is 24070 even for 2,175 pips. And a risk reward ratio of 3.23. Again, that is the future on the NASDAQ 100. Looks like we have one final call in queue. That's from NKD1. And this is the mini Japanese Nikkei 225. We're going to be targeting 48,400 even. NKD1. This is going to be your mini Japanese Nikkei 225. And this is a risk of 3.1. Entry at 49,160. We got stop loss at 49,405. And we got take profit at 48,400. All right, here we go. We have NKD1. This is the mini Japanese Nikkei 225 on a 15-minute sell. The entry price is 49,160 even. The stop loss is 49,405 even for 49 pips. And the take profit is 48400 even for 152 pips with a risk to reward ratio of 3.10. Again, that is the mini Japanese Nikkei 225. Okay, some housekeeping in order. That's it for us today. I am the Pit Messiah. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, Twitch, Twitter, Kick, Apple TV, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and Amazon TV. You can also find me on LinkedIn. We go live every weekday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 2 a.m. Central Standard Time to 4 a.m. Central Standard Time for the London session. And for New York, typically from 8:30 a.m. Central Standard Time, the opening bell of the New York Stock Exchange, to 11 a.m. Central Standard Time. We went a little long today because we had other signal calls to wait on. If you haven't already done so, I would appreciate your support on any platform that you're on. Subscribe to the channel or subscribe to my platform. Like the video and turn on those notifications to keep abreast of when I do go live in the market. And I'll see you guys bright and early tomorrow morning for 2 a.m. Central Standard Time for London. Cheers.